Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here. Our guest today is Gary Murphy, and this is Smart Business Moves.
How you doing, Tom?
Hey, I'm doing awesome, Gary. How are you today?
Good to see you again.
No kidding. It's been, well, let's see. When's the last time we got
I think
together?
it was December or so, maybe November, something like that.
Did we,
Couple months.
were you at convention this year?
Yes, she was there. I was not.
That's right.
So
So
right
you
about
guys
that
were
time frame.
down. You guys were down in Charleston
Yeah,
last year.
we had somebody from our Hartford office and from our White Plains office there. Rob and Viviana went down there, and that was great. Just fun stuff. I know the rules with Liz, though. I don't want to.
What?
I don't want to talk too much about my favorite product.
No, you can talk about whatever. Liz isn't here. Liz isn't going to be able to make it today. She is at a Darren Hardy conference, and she's, even coaches need coaching.
Right.
And she's certainly stepping her game up. So we're excited for her to have an opportunity to do that. Hey, Denit's in the house today. How are you, Denit? Good to see you.
We're talking influencers today, right? Kardashians and those types, right?
Could be. It could be any form or fashion. Why don't we start, Gary? Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and what your interest is in the residential cleaning industry.
So my wife, Robin, and I are the owners of Maid Brigade in White Plains, New York, which is just the suburbs north of New York City. So we service 4 counties north of New York City: Rockland, Putnam, Fairfield, and Westchester County. And then we also have an office in Hartford, Connecticut, and we service Hartford County in Connecticut. And we've had the business for 26 years. So we've, been through, a lot here over the years. Our latest push, we do think of ourselves as trailblazers. We are part of a franchise, Maid Brigade. But in the last 10 years, 15 years, there's been so much more collaboration between companies, through the internet, through Liz's site, and the connection you can make to other cleaning companies outside of the franchise is just great because, we can have a total world view of the industry. And one of the, a few of the things about us is, I'd say from the beginning, green cleaning was really important to us. Something that Robin was, she started this company because she couldn't find reliable, consistent house cleaners that were friendly and pleasant to be around. So,
Wow. So the impetus to get involved in the industry was Robin wasn't happy with the house cleaning that she had, so there was
a need. She constantly said that she didn't like people raiding the cleaning supplies, and she's going there. They're going to clean other people's houses with these, and it's just sloppy. It's unprofessional. And from the beginning, Robin always thought this industry, needed a kick in the butt. It needed, it's an industry that's slow to change. A lot of times when you talk to a lot of owners, afraid to invest in the business, a lot of other owners don't want to look at KPIs and look at profitability. They're looking at revenue and how many cars they have or how many teams they have, and you're looking at the wrong numbers. So, having something, a cleaning company doesn't have to be a cleaning company in the old sense. It can be a very profitable business. It could be something you can scale. You can move into other geographies. You don't have to be in the office to run it. And it can be a great place for advancement for our own employees and something our latest kind of thing we're on is really the professionalism of the industry and joining other leaders out there that are looking to raise the bar, to set the standard higher, to change the narrative of what people think about their home cleaner. and the folks that run the companies.
So when you talk about, KPIs, and it's not about, how many cars you have, it's about,
It could, I mean, it's funny, they change, and being able to watch them. It's if you track it, that's the key there, right? You're anything what's the old expression there? If you're not tracking it, you're not going to change it.
if you can't measure it, you can't manage it.
Perfectly. So, from anything, it's the beauty about this is we will have strategic meetings, or cleaning company, and that's what we're doing. And, it used to be during the pandemic, it was an employment issue. How are we getting people in? We were measuring success by the number. One of the KPIs was, recruiting, and how many employees can we have to go out and clean each day. It can be per made revenue hour is something we're tracking right now. And, we're unabashed supporters of Made Central, and we have both of our offices on that, and really proud to report that, we look at our it's something we really took a hard look at. A few years ago, we were down in the 50s per made hour. And now we're right about $72, $73 per made per hour. So for me, Tom, that means we can bring in employees when they're cleaning at that rate, and we're getting that amount per hour on their commissions. I know they're on their share. They're making decent money. We have a competitive advantage over our, competition to get the best cleaners, because for some employees, what we're learning now is they don't want to work 8-9 hours a day. They may want to work less hours, but really have a profitable few hours. And we can actually show that to them and say, another thing, Tom, that we'll look at with having that high revenue per made revenue hour is being on front of things like a 4-day work week. It's coming. We can put our heads in the sand. But for a lot of people, that level of flexibility, or, working, 3 days a week. And while it's not a gig, you're part of something bigger. It's something that's very reliable income if you're in on those 3 or 4 days. So we're always looking for a nice competitive advantage, and being able to track something like per made revenue hour that we can show people and say, look, this is real. This is something we watch. We want to make sure it's high. And if a customer is underpriced, our office staff's going to get on that. If the staff needs some help with efficiency, we're going to get on that in the office. So, with looking at the profitability of the company is more important than how many cars you have or how many employees you have. That means that was 20 years ago. People were going around judging by those numbers. And you really have to look at the data to know what a healthy organization looks like.
Well, a lot of things have changed over the last 20 years. 20 years ago, we didn't have smartphones. 20 years ago, the internet was not really nearly as relevant in business as it is now. I mean,
or even as reliable, right?
Right. When you first started your cleaning business, you were buying big yellow page ads, I bet.
That's right. We were and that's how we did it. Buy the biggest page, and seeing huge growth. And now, we're learning. We're becoming SEO people. We're learning what we have to do for. I was just talking to you the other day about doing our video FAQs. That's something we have to get up and online, and there's a SEO factor to that. So we want to make sure every part of our business is tied into our profitability, the success of the business. So
and
stuff.
I know that you and Robin are really innovative in terms of pursuing for the residential things that are kind of cutting edge for the residential cleaning industry. Maybe not as much for business overall, but you're bringing professional management practices into our industry. And there's a lot we could talk about there. I know that you're doing some really cool things in training. I mean, where would you like to go with that, Gary?
I mean, for us, probably the largest component of that is really looking at how can we train our staff that are, for right now, when we onboard somebody, for the most part, we're onboarding somebody who's 24 to maybe 32 years old, is who we're hiring. And what does training look like? Now, I know in the 90s, the training was centered more around a VCR tape. Maybe you got a little time with the head trainer, right? We made all the mistakes early on, thinking our best cleaner that we had would be our best trainer, right? Because if you're really good at something, that means you can teach it really well.
Sure.
Well, we learned the hard way that is not the case. Sometimes people are just really good at their jobs, and they may not be a great educator or explainer or mentor. So learning how are we going to change and adapt to this new world where it's not going to be VCR tapes. We don't see training to be something where you spend 4 hours in the office chatting, sort of a classroom setting, and then go out in the field and another 4 hours. And then the next day, walking through for a few days with somebody. It seems like that's not the way the world is in 2023. My daughter, a few years ago, I never taught her how to make slime. Yet she managed to go out on YouTube, figure out how to make slime, went on to our Amazon account, ordered the glue and the glitter and everything else. It showed up, and the next thing you know, we have a slime factory in our house. She didn't, we're in a more self-directed approach to learning, and sort of the classroom approach, the VCR tapes aren't working. So something we've developed over the last year, and this has been Robin's kind of secret pet project. If you know Skunkworks, the development agency for the CIA, I think, and or one of the big Northwestern aircraft manufacturers.
I think maybe that was it.
It's like their secret lab. They made the SR-71 Blackhawk and stuff like that. Well, Robin every couple of years gets into something, right? And a few years ago, she got us into electrostatic spraying for disinfectant. A few years after that, or years before that, she got us into electrolyzed water. So Robin is our, visionary step ahead.
We use Annihilator, in our cleaning process, and Robin introduced us to Marty, the owner of the company.
And her latest sort of, miracle that she's pulling out. And again, the goal of this is, how do you onboard staff? How do you professionalize the industry and teach skills in 2023? When I went to work in 1994, it's funny. I remember going in there, and Bob Spicer was like the old guy, and he must have been already like 65 years old. And he came in to work with like a lunch pail and a newspaper. And I came up through tech, and at a tech company, and I'm like, oh my God, who brings lunch to work? This is like going to be, fast paced. And the funny thing now is I'm looking at myself, and I think without changing, I'm turning into Bob Spicer, showing up with the lunch pail and the newspaper, and, talking about, old media. And did you watch the news last night? And none of my employees know what I'm talking about. So, and it goes back to being in tech in 1994. Lou Gerstner was the CEO of IBM. And he wrote a book called Reinventing Education. Kind of one of the first books on school choice and needing to change things. And I always remember there was a quote from this book from a math teacher in Maine. And it's just funny. It's like, the problem is not that schools aren't what they used to be. The problem is schools still are what they used to be. right? Schools are still doing the same thing. And that just
Right.
cracked me. They never changed. They didn't take advantage of technology. And the CEO of IBM is saying, you know what? You should be bringing computers into schools. There's going to be cloud-based learning school soon. There's so many innovative and dynamic things that can be done instead of just making the next factory worker. So I just always remember that. And now, and then I remember we had a library of VCR tapes. And when we'd onboard somebody, it's like, okay, background check cleared, references checked out, put them in front of the videotape, see how they do for a few hours, send them out. And how are they doing?
That almost sounds inhumane based on how things work.
And so Robin's sitting here saying, again, when I say Robin, I'm saying, electrostatic spray guns, going really quick, meeting you, saying we got to get on, something like Made Central, having employees clock in, clock out. They can see their PTO right then and there. We want electrolyzed water, safe products. We're going to do cleaning products for life for our customers. We're going to do a subscription-based way that customers can pay for us. It's easy to sign up, and you're going to be delighted with all the value add we offer. Her next thing is professionalizing the industry, and that starts again with the TikTok style video where we've already developed about 95 to 100 45 to 90 second training videos on all kinds of topics. So of these 100 videos, more or less, that we have, 1/3 of them are dedicated to hard skills, how to change your vacuum bag, how to make a bed. And they're fun, like a TikTok video. They have little, emojis popping up, but the hard skills are the basics of the company, what you need to do your job. The professionalization comes in when we're talking about delivering soft skills, right? Interoffice communication, or making eye contact with a customer. When you walk in, 45-second little TikTok video saying, hey, when you walk in, it's really important to say hello, hola, and make eye contact, because that eye contact means so much to the customer. Things like your do's and don'ts of your uniform, and we have fun with it. We may have somebody dressed up in a sloppy uniform versus a clean uniform, professionalism. When you show up, how it looks. And while these are short videos, really what they do is they open a door for deeper conversations. And it's something that, in our office, we've done this now for about 6 months. We have about 12 other companies that have demoed this, and everybody is saying the feedback is just tremendous, because we're meeting our employees at their level of how they want training done. They don't want to sit in front of a computer for, 4 hours. They don't want to watch somebody. They don't want to, shadow somebody. They like these videos where, we now onboard somebody by, after they're hired, we send them a video of how they use the gas card to get gas if they're a driver, just so they have that, in their little library of things to know about the job. So having these,
how do you distribute these videos?
Yeah.
How do you
right over text through folks' cell phone. So every morning
you send them a text, like how?
And I think I just got one right now at about 7:45 every day. I take it back. We start early at our office in White Plains. At 7:15, we have a scheduled text that goes out to all employees with a link. They click on the link and it has the lesson for the day. 45-second to 90-second. It might be something like making a bed. It might be 10 things that drive customers crazy. It might be making eye contact. It might be conflict or de-escalation. If you have a problem with the team, what to do if you have breakage, just as a reminder. Call the office, text the office, right?
Sure.
Let us know, things like that. And it's just constant reinforcement. And then we have a comment section. So, one thing also that we've noticed in that goes along with loading up these videos is participation is something that's now important in the company. To work at Maid Brigade in one of our offices, it's not something we like. It's not something that's desired. It's expected now. So when we hire, when you watch a video like this, we want the good and bad. We want your feedback. Okay. We want to see what you think of the video. And we actually gamify it by doing things like having raffles for those that participate the most. And participation could be anything, Tom. If I send you a video right now, I could send a video to all your staff at Castle Cleaners saying, hey, here's how to make a bed. I'm going to show you in 45 seconds. And what we're expecting to see from our staff is some comments, the good and the bad that they might want to share, just like you would on a Facebook post. And then we also reward folks if throughout the day they shoot a video of themselves practicing what we were just talking about. So, internally for our morale and having fun with this, staff start sending in videos of them making a bed, changing a pillowcase, cleaning a toilet. And this way we're having fun with really flattening out how we deliver our service. Because at the end of the day, what we want to make sure is whether you have Maria, Rosa, Carmen, and Gilda, the customer's experience is going to be the exact same. The bed is going to look the same. The toilet's clean the same. One team doesn't leave a flower with the toilet paper and the other does. We want standardization so we can scale. And that's what the training is about.
You want to share a couple of these?
Yeah. I sent them to you. Do you have them in your email? Is that easier? Around
I've got one here, like hospital corners.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Okay, let me cue this up.
And it may ask for a code, and I'll give you that because this is all linked in through a cell phone.
Yeah, it wants a phone number.
Yeah, and we're all in the community here. I can give you 1914 708 9619. And then your code is 409 735. And again, this is just, Tom, this lets you into our quasi LMS. So this is how we track and make sure, we can see where people are with videos, who watched them, who didn't, who commented.
Okay. So I am going to share my screen. Hey, Robin, we're going to show your video.
She might be home soon, so she might come through that door back there.
Okay. That'd be cool. So I'm going to see if I can blow this up a little bit.
Yeah. And again, remember, this is designed for a cell phone. That's why it's shot in that vertical format, because we want to deliver the content the way staff are going to see it.
Okay. Let's go ahead and give this a go.
Oh, you just have to hit that play button. Right.
It's not streaming here, is it? Let me figure out what's going on there. I don't know why I'm saying it, but it's not.
Not playing for the world.
Yeah, let me fix this.
There we go.
Let's see. Still, it's like locking up. This isn't, doggone it. Let me try something different.
Okay, looks like we're playing. Now remember, this is what appears on your phone. And we're a little choppier than normal here, but it's just a real easy, nothing overly branded here. It's just showing you the very basics of a task like making a hospital corner. And that's it. And, listo is our thing, and we're starting with some basic questions at the end. Do clients, of course they do, I don't know. And then again, we're looking at this, but normally you'd go and you'd see everybody else's comments there. So the idea is a quick 45-second hard, skill like this, and you can do that, and it's delivered to your cell phone. So once you're logged in, you can go back and click another link now, like smiling and making eye contact. If you're able to share the video, we have a great guy who does these Spanish and English videos, and what he'll do is talk about something like the importance of smiling.
Okay. Want to watch another one?
Yeah, this one. I mean, this is great, where we're just talking about something like the importance of walking into a home and smiling, or seeing your coworker.
This is only 20 seconds.
Yep. And that's the idea. These are quick bursts. And somebody like Arnaldo here, he does all of our soft skills training. So he does them in English and Spanish, and everything from how you walk into a home, walking with purpose, right? When you walk around the home, having a plan. And staff just love him because he's just so motivational and upbeat, and a really, nice guy. And that comes through. And something like this on it's something we don't talk about a lot, right? In the business, is when we talk about being professionals. When I don't know if you guys ever do this, Tom, but you ever compare us to UPS and to FedEx? Like, their drivers, they're professional. They have a great uniform, right? They're always neat and tidy. They're identifiable. You wouldn't give your old baby clothes to a UPS driver. I don't know why you wouldn't, right? Or another service person. But why, with cleaning people, it's like, oh, I feel, the need is oh, you must not be able to buy clothes, or you don't have paid time off, or something like that. That's one of the mindsets we're trying to change, is professionalizing, is let's start getting the cleaning companies out there more like, a FedEx, a UPS, that's a professional service that shows up, and, act accordingly, and let's get paid accordingly. And that starts with, having great training, having staff that walk in, not slumped over, making eye contact when they, come into a home. If there's breakage, they're quickly trained to know you're not in trouble, but just let the office know, because everybody's going to tell you, the customers love it when we tell them there's breakage, right? I mean, they don't love it. It's a hard call to make sometimes, but it's 10 times better than the, surprise breakage overnight call that you get.
And Gary, earlier on, you were touching upon several things that all tie into this. It's about professionalizing the industry, and it's also about using professional management practices within your business, with the idea of being profitable, and that revenue per labor hour that you were talking about, and all of that rolled up together gives you an opportunity to create really, really awesome jobs. I mean, you can pay well, and you've got the resources and the cash, really, to pay for training and to do those types of things. And it's hard work, and the idea of taking it from a task and turning it into a profession.
Right.
Part of that is giving people training. Part of the benefit of any job is getting a paycheck, but there's more to it than that, and you're giving people skills that they own, and they take them with them for the rest of their lives. These
Right. I mean,
skills.
we like to say, even in our office, and Robin and I were talking about this. We're talking about training for our staff, and I started out in tech, and when we start talking to other cleaning company owners, operators, managers, even, not a lot of people came out of high school and or college and go, okay, great, I'm going to start a cleaning company. A lot of people, their spouse maybe was doing it and they joined, or as a family venture. And we didn't come out of customer service. A lot of us came out of corporate, and we bring a lot of skills, a lot of depth in what we know, but we weren't trained in customer service. So we started doing that also in our office. And when we're talking about upskilling our staff, we're talking about upskilling us also. So we found a course, if you're ever familiar with Joe Casera, HVAC, and we signed up for his course, and kind of along the style of the way we're delivering content for our employees in the field, he does it the same way for us in the office, where it's right on our phone. It's modules that are easy. They're in digestible bits, 2 to 3 minutes. And what we're saying to our staff is basically, we want to upskill you so you can go work wherever you want to. But we're going to make the culture here so good, you're never going to want to leave. You're going to want to stay because you enjoy working here. You have the environment that you like. You have a say. So when we do that, we really want to start valuing folks who have achievements, and whether it's a GBAC class, take the Bruce Vance class, the professional house cleaning course, things like that. So we really celebrate any certificate you get, achievement you get in learning. And we want to teach staff, build up your LinkedIn profile. It only helps us when we have kind of a kick-ass person, working for us in customer service that wants that's open to learning things. And I got to tell you, Tom, in this class, the funniest thing, for both Robin and I'd sit here and be like, oh, Robin's our best salesperson, in the company. And she hasn't been doing it for a while because she's focused on more strategic things, and we're growing, and she doesn't do that anymore. But it's funny, we're realizing we were doing it wrong before. It's kind of eye-opening. Not that we were doing it wrong. We were doing the best we could, and we were applying a corporate approach to it. And the same with customer support, where a quick example is, when a customer calls in and would say to us, hey, Tom, I really want to thank you for the team went above and beyond and scrubbed out my garbage cans. Our office, our typical response was always, it's no problem. It's no big deal. It's what we do for a weekly customer. We're happy to help. And what we're learning now is that's really not the right answer. The correct answer is really saying, you're welcome, and we appreciate you, and thank you for sharing that. But it's not nothing, right? And this is what we have been trained to say is, I'm jumping over someone's desk going, that's a weekly customer. Tell them no big deal. We're happy to do it. We'll do it again for free. That's not the answer. The answer is, let the customer talk. Let this be for a moment. Take the compliment. Tell them, thank you. We don't have to be an organization that feels, eternally humbled and that,
Sure.
we're servants. It's not that relationship. Somebody took the time out of their day to basically call in and say, you're doing a really nice job and I appreciate it. Don't minimize their compliment by saying it's no big deal. We do it for everybody.
Don't try to, if they think it's awesome, don't try to convince them that it isn't.
Right. So just in the beginning part of this, Rob and I are going, wow, we missed the fundamentals of customer service. Robin came out of, MasterCard, finance, corporate. I came out of tech. We never had somebody take us through a 101 fundamentals of customer service. To that point, also sales, as well. So, not having, that extensive background. It's just interesting. It's an eye opener when you sit through the course, because you're going to go, I own the place. I know customer service, and the point of this, the whole point of this is to make sure there's never a call that comes in again. We want to be scalable. We don't want calls coming in saying, I need to talk to Robin. I need to talk to Gary. I need to talk to Viviana. I need to talk to Rob. There's not a person. There's a flat customer service methodology that we apply to everybody. So it doesn't matter who you talk to. And this way we can grow our borders out larger or wherever we want to go. And that's the exciting part about this is it's not just Robin's so good at sales, you got to talk to Robin. It's you can talk to Rachel, Sandra, Jessica, anybody. You're going to have the same experience. So upskilling for us has been something, it's Robin's new, the training is Robin's new electrostatic spraying, and having all the cool new products and things like that. So we're just excited. And to kind of cap it off, we've brought in, a new title. Everybody in the organization goes through either a sales role or customer service. You get the fundamentals in both. If you're picking up a phone, you're going to learn the fundamentals, and you're going to go through the online training on your phone.
So is everybody in the company, like everybody who works in the office? Or?
Everybody in the office.
Okay.
If you're touching a customer in any way, if you're doing, bookkeepers aside, who we want to keep away from customer interaction. But hey, Tom, I'm a Made Central fan. We send them to the portal now. We've reduced the amount of overhead we've reduced from Made Central and cell phones and printers and paper. It's just ridiculous. The savings that's there to apply towards things like, developing our own videos, onboarding, training, all the stuff that even Liz is talking about. I see she has an ROI on your staff, right? And the training that you're doing. It's like, if you're not paying attention to your staff and letting bad employees stick around, shame on you. Your company's going to just die on the vine, so to speak, if that's the way you're going to approach things and not be ahead of it. But it's very cool when we start seeing the next step on this is everybody's either doing a sales course or customer service. You're in one of those camps, and most of them are customer service. Most of us are in that, because if you're picking up the phone and you're rescheduling someone, and again, these days it's mostly text, but even so, we want the same communication voice to be heard from the customer. It's the same. You think you're talking to the same person. And during one of our customer service meetings, the funniest thing that came out of it is we have a newer employee that said, I'm so happy that people know me, that because she signs her emails Carolina, and she's finally known. It used to always be, Viviana or Jen or Robin. And now, customers are calling her by name. And it's just, it's nice to see that progression of people feeling good about making an impact. And our kind of part two to that for our cleaner side is one of the positions is a staff influencer. And so a staff influencer is somebody, like a Kardashian, but whose job is to really live and breathe the values of the company and sort of rev up everybody so they're having fun at work. The job is hard enough, right? When we go out and clean. And
so do you have a full-time person that's their only job?
And they do this. So, this full-time person though is a customer support. They were first hired to do boring customer support, but we jazzed up her title. She still will answer the phone and answer emails and send text messages and work with the schedule, but she's in the morning. And Tom, I got to tell you, we use Made Central now. So my mornings are easy. Customers have been emailed 3 days before. They've been texted the day before. They know our cancellation policy. They know if they cancel in the morning, they're going to get dinged for the price of the cleaning. We've shaken out all the folks that aren't on board with the service we deliver and meet us at our level. So
Right.
our mornings used to be showing up at work and, this one's on the phone. It's the first clean canceled, this and that. That doesn't happen anymore. So now we have that employee that used to just open up the door and fix all the AM problems. Who's not coming to work? Who's off the schedule? Redo it all. Now their job is to really rev people up and get them going. And, we have a family dinner every Friday night. We try and have a lot of themes. This week it's Mother's Day. The week before, Cinco de Mayo. The week before that, it was sports teams. Everybody, wearing their favorite, jersey from whatever. So for this kind of serious company, we still want to have fun, whether it's pajama day, bring your pet to work day, not out in the field. But
does your staff influencer help with that?
Absolutely, does it all. And this is what it is, Tom. It's revving them up. And the staff influencer also is going to be taking over our social media now. And we've also realized we're really, really bad at social media, meaning Robin and I. We've tried to post pictures. Who wants to look at the cleaning company, right? What do you got to say? Maybe a funny pun here or there. But the idea is we've started to use that influencer to take all that good in-house content, the photos, the family dinners, the little dancing that's happening. We'll have a few beers at the end of the day on Friday. They'll have all those pictures, but they used to be sent out over text to people's phones and share like a photo album. Now it goes on Facebook. So now on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, we have our employees. Finally, we're getting some action on our social pages, and it's coming from our own employees who are liking pictures of themselves. They're inviting their family members, forwarding, sharing. And as we all know with our social media, you kind of have to start somewhere and you need to get some movement. And boy, it would be really hard to get customers to say, oh, wow, I saw this really cool article on hardwood floors. Let me send it to 20 people. Not really. But if we have somebody doing a fun dance or doing karaoke in the office, again, back to the office culture, people enjoying themselves, the staff influencer comes along and sort of curates that photo album and puts it up on social media. And if you go to Maid Brigade of Northern Westchester County, you can, see from a month ago, all of our pictures getting 1 like to now 17 likes, 18 likes, 12 shares. And that's just in a few weeks now. So we've switched our mode of fun communication to share, staff pictures. And everybody signed a little disclosure when they're hired now. They understand that their likeness will be used. And again, that goes back to participation as part of the company. If you want great customers, right, you want that high 75 per hour maid rate. You want these good houses, that weekly house that's $325 that never cancels. Come work for us. You're going to have those houses. But the expectation is when we post something on Facebook, you're going to give us a thumbs up, a like, maybe a comment, a share. If you see yourself on there, you might send it out, because that's how we're going to generate new customers, is by our Instagram page, TikTok videos, and we're all responsible for getting customers. And again, upskilling the employees, showing them appreciation with Friday dinners, having this staff influencer who's getting people relaxed about, taking pictures in the office. Because that was our first thing. When we started taking pictures, nobody wanted their picture associated with a Facebook page. They don't want to be on the internet. Nobody wants to know you're going to track me, this or that. And we're going, really? Is that what Robin's mission is here? She's sitting here talking about, professionalism, paid. We don't have to do paid time off in New York, but we do it anyway, right? Because we want to attract great employees. That's again, if you have second doubts about that, if you think we want to see what you're doing on weekends, really, we have the confidence to say, go somewhere else. Come on. We want committed folks here.
So tell me about the staff influencer, and a lot of the things you're doing here, like the social media, you mentioned that it makes you look more attractive to prospective customers. But how does this help on your recruiting side?
Yeah, I mean it's huge. So we join a lot of the local groups in our area. Our workforce is mostly it's 100% Hispanic workforce. So when you start joining the Facebook pages where the community is really strong on anything they might need, housing, healthcare needs, a lot of it is right there up on Facebook. So a lot of people looking for work. Biggest struggle is, of course, we hire legally like everybody else, but we can shoot a quick
Well,
video.
not like everybody else, but
Yeah.
like a professional company should. Yes.
Right. And I mean, and it's just fun. It kind of goes back to us. Yeah, we keep saying that we're not even operating like, oh, why this is good. We have Robin just
A
said we have
wait list,
yeah.
for employees. That's crazy.
And again, back to the KPIs. Robin sat at a strategic meeting a few months ago and said, or about a year and a half ago, right after COVID, and said, "How are we going to get employees?" And you met Viviana. She came down to your office for a Made Central event, and we leaned on her, and she started being dynamic, shooting videos, posting on local Facebook pages, saying, if you want a good job and you're committed and you're honest, reliable, trustworthy, blah, 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 and you think these values are yours, and you're tired of not working at a great place, family oriented, come on down. And now we have a wait list. And on top of it all, Tom, we do on Friday mornings, we try and have fun, right? Like I said, this Friday will be Mother's Day. We'll, give out some flowers, and it's kind of hard to rev people up at 7:30 in the morning, 7:15 in the morning. You're going out to clean sometimes, 1 to 5, 7, 6 houses a day, depending on what your status is with your team. It's kind of hard to get pumped up, right?
Your business model, you have everybody like come into the office every morning?
Yeah, we do. And with the staff influencer, that's why it's kind of important, because there's that centerpiece, that person who used to kind of be, that position used to be an ogre. It used to be me going, your first house canceled, and where are you? Where's your paperwork from yesterday? And there's no check from yesterday. That doesn't happen anymore. So now we have a person facing the staff going, hey, everybody, let's get a conga line going. Let's get good. And I sent you a couple of videos there and pictures, and it's amazing. And to me, the biggest compliment I have in the last 2 Fridays, 2 separate employees brought breakfast for the entire staff, and including me. And I'm like, I'm really touched by that. That's incredible that you're going to go out cleaning for the day, and you just brought in 35 papusas or tamales for the entire office, that you went home Thursday night. And the culture now is one of, cool, who's going to, is somebody going to show up? And Viviana, who you met, people come to her and like, could I bring in, my home cooked recipe from name your country? And she's like, I dare you to, and she's like, and I feel like years ago we were a company that somebody might be made fun of for doing that or whatever. But when you start hitting on these culture things and start having this culture, you start getting a wait list. And when you get a wait list, you start getting this kind of cool vibe of on our quality cards that come back every day, Made Central. And again, we're working with Aja from Made Central with a learning person, so we can see what we're deficient on with our quality cards and where we're hitting, where we need to work. So if we start hearing floors are a problem, we can dial up videos on floor maintenance and make sure, you're mopping, checking, and stuff like that. So when you're back to the KPIs and looking at the data, and we're seeing in real time in Hartford and in White Plains where we need to work. And Robin's just asking about our Dream Manager program. Viviana, who you met, she's also our Dream Manager, Tom. So all of our staff have access to meet with Viviana, our dream manager. We rolled this program out. It's a book from Thomas Kelly, I believe his name, from a couple years ago. And we rolled the program out and nobody signed up for it. We started working on our company culture, getting the employees involved in what our aim, mission, and purpose is as a company. And we rolled out our dream manager program this year, and we had 22 people sign up for it. And in short, dream manager is just somebody for you at work to talk to about your life goals, your dreams, and what you want. Matthew Kelly, Rob's got it there. So this is a resource. And talk about employee retention. So our staff will have these sessions with Viviana, who's just a great person, and she's so on board with this, where she'll listen to folks. And one of the outcomes of our dream manager program was a lot of staff said, I really want to start saving money, and I want to be able to put something away for my kids' college, and I'm not able to save money and I don't know how to do it. So we, worked with paychecks and we set up a retirement program. So
the whole thing is
a 401k that's in there now and staff are fine. And again, we're doing all this stuff. I don't want to sound like, oh, just open up the wallet. Right now, we're not contributing, and nobody asked us to. What they asked was, is there a place I can put? And again, when you're making when you're working in houses and we're charging $75 per maid per hour, you're making enough where you can squirrel away $75, $100 a week, right? And if you're 24 years old, like we all knew, start doing it early. And the dream manager is something where, a deep bond happens between our dream manager and the employees, where I don't know of another cleaning company that people are going to walk into and say, oh, wow, we have these fun Friday dinners. In the mornings, somebody might show up with, something to eat. Kind of Jen, our staff influencer, is taking pictures, getting people all like whipped up, stirred up, smiling, laughing. They're watching these videos about smiling. And then you have this like dream manager program where, you hear some stuff, I don't, but I know Viv comes out and goes, wow, there's, she has a lot going on in life. Yeah. She has a lot, and she just unloaded on me. And, I think I, guided her the right way. And I was like, well, is this like,
so let me see if I can kind of piece this together. Obviously you're creating good jobs. You're paying well, you've got, benefits, all the stuff that a professional employer would do, but you're building a culture that makes people feel valued, giving them, Liz would call it matter, meaning, and measure.
Yeah.
You're providing training, not only training, but training that is actually entertaining, that people will be motivated to participate in. And a lot of the training really doesn't even have anything to do about removing dirt from a surface. It's about soft skills and people skills that will help you in all facets of your life for the rest of your life. And then kind of rolling it all up. And, none of us should be living to work. We should be working to live. So what is it that we're really hoping to do with our lives? And
right.
It sounds like that's what you're doing with the
material. We didn't need an hour. You could have just said that from the beginning.
No, but this is kind of a roadmap, if you will, to, not only how to build a professional business and scale a business and, create awesome jobs, provide awesome service, and, build a great company. You're doing a lot of good for a lot of stakeholders. Basically that's why we should all be getting up in the morning, right?
Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you this, doing it over the years, it makes it so much more fun to go in the office when you walk in and there's, you see that there's a case of Corona laid out for later in the day, and, music's going and and I'm sitting here going, it's 7:25 in the morning. Why is somebody dancing? Why is there a conga line? I was like, I'm trying to, and whatever. And I go, what, this is really awesome. And then when I see somebody bring in, food, and I'm going, you cooked for, 30 people, let us, help with that. And it's almost an insult, that you would do that. I'm going, wow, this is something, this is something very special. And when then you sit there, you go, wow, I wonder why the quality cards are coming back so, high, and there hasn't been a complaint in so long. There's a pride, there's a esprit de corps, in the organization where, I hate to say it, you remember the old story, the NASA guy who's cleaning the bathrooms, and, he's mopping the floor, and they say to him, hey, what are you doing? I'm putting a guy on the moon, right? Because my job's important. I'm mopping the floor. That's kind of what we're getting to. And like you said, Tom, that's professionalizing the industry. When you have folks walking tall and feeling good about where they work, and when you have a line out the door, you're like waiting to, we're on our salespeople now, like, hey, let's get going. Robin has a mandate to ramp up because we have big plans, which will be on the next show for it in the fall.
Okay. So, I know that, there's people watching this that are going to be looking at these videos, for instance, and going, that's really cool. I would love to be able to share some of that information within my business. Are you guys in a position where you could do that?
We are. I mean, for right now, the easiest thing to do is if you could drop Robin's email in the comments, anybody can reach out to her. And I mean, the way it's the easiest thing in the world to do. You send text out, you provide your employees text numbers, and, we send them these videos. We even have a playbook on how to make it fun with the raffles in both English and Spanish. All the videos are in English and Spanish. And again, ranging from hard skills, teaching basic cleaning. Nothing is branded, so you won't see a logo on them. And it's a mix of people. And the best part about these videos, I'll say, is they're uplifting, Tom. It's the carrot, not the stick.
Sure.
It's not, here's not what to do. It's not, don't be a slob.
It's all in the spirit of
it's let's upskill. Let's bring up. And that was another need that we saw, where there were other videos out there of, don't do this, don't do that. Basically, talking down to people. It's like, how is training going to work that way when you say, oh, you're a slob. You ate in the customer's home and left crumbs. That's disgusting. That's not training. That's going to put people off. We want to talk about, we're not hiring, we're going to bring in folks with a different mindset, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow. An hour goes by fast, Gary.
Yeah.
The hour. I dropped Robin's email as Robin@maybrigade.cleaning. Robin.
And I thought she might get back home and come through. I can't work it, that door there. And, but maybe not. Anybody interested in training and or even any of the things that we talk about. I mean, this is a community when I think of guys like Bruce Vance, right? As folks that, I think we have to start being the next generation of people like him that are so, you just know when you talk to him, he's seen everything, right?
He's seen a lot for sure.
And Robin sent to you something like a bio or something, and I said, she's like, he's a super fan of Bruce Vance, but the community needs that, and it needs more people sharing and saying, I think we have that, but it only gets better when and lifting up the employees, because that's who is the next part, is elevating them.
Well, Gary, you and Robin and your entire team, you're doing important work at a lot of levels, and I appreciate it from a professionalizing industry standpoint. I appreciate you sharing this with our audience today, and I encourage people to reach out to Robin at maybrigade.cleaning and get a little more information. And you think in the fall maybe you'll have some of this rolled up in a way where
this will be rolled up a lot sooner than that. We have something bigger. We have, it's Robin, man. I got something. Come September, you're going to be like, holy. Actually, come July, we have something that's like whatever. Electrolyzed water, electrostatic spraying, company culture, and then the next step is our. It's going to be good. You're going to, and it's bigger than subscription pricing. It's you're going to love it.
I
gotta stay quiet on it.
Just let me. Yeah, we've said enough for the moment. But when you guys are ready to share that, please.
Yeah. You'd be the first. We'll come on. It's going to be good. Okay. It's going to be big.
We'll have you back. In the interim, though, we're going to have to call it a wrap for today. It is the top of the hour, a couple minutes past.
Cool.
Gary, thank you so much for being here.
It's great being here, Tom. Thanks.
And we'll be back next Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern. Till then, everybody take care.